Tonight, superstar ladies of country. Trisha Yearwood, three-time Grammy winner, engaged to country giant Garth Brooks. Martina McBride, more than 10 million albums sold. Barbara Mandrell, winner of more than 75 major music awards. Plus, American Idol winner Carrie Underwood, one of country's newest stars. And Jody Messina, the multi-platinum award-winning singer. Some of country's biggest, most beautiful stars together next on Larry King Live.
This one's for the girls who've ever had a broken heart.
Good evening and welcome to an unusual edition of Larry King Live. Unusual in a couple of respects. We are in New York, that's not unusual. What is unusual is the Country Music Association of America is here this year. The Country Music Awards tomorrow night are in New York instead of out of Nashville. This is a historic first, and it's got New York all agog. The police love it. Got all these people in 10-gallon hats and cowboy boots walking around town, and auspicious too, because tonight, or right around this time, 80 years ago, a Nashville music institution was born, the Grand Ole Opry. It was a radio broadcast, became part of a building, and the Opry grew, Nashville grew, and what was once a sleepy town is now Music City, USA. And in honor of the Grand Ole Opry and 80 years, we have some outstanding country artists with us. They'll all be at the Country Music Awards tomorrow night. With us in studio in New York, Trisha Yearwood, the three-time Grammy winner, a member of the Grand Ole Opry. Her new album is Jasper County, featuring her smash single Georgia Rain. And she's engaged to a good friend of ours, the fellow legend and Opry member, Garth Brooks. Martina McBride, by the way, will be joining us shortly. Barbara Mandrell is in Nashville. She joined the Grand Ole Opry at age 23, the youngest person ever to receive an honor. The winner of over 75 major music awards, Grammys, CMAs, Academy of Country Music Awards, and People's Choice Awards, retired from country music in '97. Here in New York is Carrie Underwood, winner of the American Idol on Fox television last season, and her new CD, Some Hearts, hits the stores tomorrow. And in New York is Jody Messina, the multi-platinum selling country singer who's been honored by the Grammys, the CMAs, and the Academy of Country Music. First, Barbara, why did you retire?
Well, first of all, it's truly great to be back with you tonight. Larry, thank you. I've missed you. I retired at the end of '97 after 38 years as a performer. And I was not bored. I was not unhappy. I guess, I'm trying to think of a modest way to say it. To me, my opinion was that was at a point where it was the top of my game. And I really didn't have any more that was like different and unique to offer. And the public have been so great to me, and they're the reason really, as I'm sure you can appreciate, that I was able to retire. And for the first time in my life, because I'd started working when I was 11, it was my first time to really be what I call a normal person and be a stay-at-home wife and mother. And I found out that that's the hardest job on the face of the earth. So. And
you didn't want to be in New York tomorrow night on that stage singing?
Oh, I'll be watching. I'll be sitting or laying in my bed at home watching it.
But you don't want to be there.
I don't miss the performing. The only thing I could say that I perhaps miss a little bit is being able to please people when I do that eye-to-eye contact that I used to kind of search for people in the audience as I was performing and see that they were pleased. Perhaps I miss that, but I meet an awful lot of nice people when I'm at the grocery store or wherever I go, so that's good.
Let's go around. Trisha, why is the First of all, are you getting married?
I am.
When? Got a date?
Garth's my date, but
I mean, a date on the calendar.
No. Just, no, not yet.
But soon?
Well, hopefully.
2006?
Hopefully, yes.
Hopefully on your part, his part, both parts?
Both parts. I'm touring right now, busy. You just got to, find the time, get the dress, it takes a while.
What does he sing, only at Walmart?
Right now, at the moment, pretty much.
What a booking. From the top of the world to the Walmart store in Walla Walla, Washington.
There you have it.
What does the Grand Ole Opry mean to the country singer?
I think, speaking for myself, becoming a member of the Grand Ole Opry was acceptance into an elite club of people who understand the history of country music and what it's about, and they decide that you appreciate the right things, and they invite you to be a member. So to me, it's the highest honor to say that I am in this club. I get to be a member along with people like Porter Wagner, and I get to be in this club. I mean, it really, that you understand the tradition of what came before, and you don't necessarily have to sing exactly the same kind of music for them to be accepting of you.
I emceed there one night when my wife sang. She has a new single out, a new single in a CD, and I introduced her. And I walked by this circle in the middle of the stage, and they all said, "You are standing in hallowed ground." What is that?
It's a circle of wood that was taken from the Ryman Auditorium
Where
when
the Opry started.
Yeah, and the Opry moved from there in 1974 out to the big Opry House, but they took a piece of that floor, and that's the floor that Patsy Cline stood on and Hank Williams stood on. So it's a you know, there's definitely a feeling when you stand in that piece of wood. It's different. It's different from the rest of everything else.
And the audiences are wild, and backstage is crazy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Carrie, what does it mean to you as the young performer, an American Idol winner, a new album?
I mean, the Grand Ole Opry, you know, is just something to work towards. It's the pinnacle of, you know, country music performing, and I think those who, you know, are accepted into it kind of realize, you know, I'm here. So someday
Have you worked there yet?
I have performed there once, and I'm going back in December, and I'm very much looking forward to possibly, hopefully, someday being a member myself.
What's it like to walk on the stage?
It's just a great feeling, you know. All the people that come to watch, you know, most likely they've been coming there for a while, and they've been to many shows, and you know, the band is awesome, and it's a great feeling.
And they do shows like every week? And they do 2 shows on Friday and Saturday night. I mean, they really roll along. Joe DiMessina, you've done it all. What does the Grand Ole Opry mean to you?
Well, it's kind of like the home place for country music. That's where, you know, they used to have the radio broadcast out of there. You know, it's what America first knew of country music, came from the Grand Ole Opry. And so it's just a huge piece of history as far as, you know, this format goes. And just to walk out there, like you had asked Carrie, what's it feel like? You know, being a fan of country music and to actually be able to walk onto that stage, or like Tricia said about that piece of wood that's right in front of the microphone, to stand in that spot that all of the legends, all the people that you grew up admiring once stood on that spot. I mean, that's a cool feeling, you know. It's just,
And you got the, what, WSM radio? Is that the radio station that broadcasts all the Grand Ole Opry? And they've been there as long as Nashville has. And all the shows are on the radio, right? They're all...
Yeah, they're broadcasts on radio.
Barbara, why did you choose country? Was it your natural way of singing, or did you say, I've listened to them all, I like this?
I was 11 years old, and I'd started playing steel guitar. 2 weeks later, saxophone. And steel guitar is kind of wonderful for country music, and my mother and father played, you know, for fun, and so it just happened. It was around me, and I loved it.
Tricia Underwood, Martina McBride joining us soon. Barbara Mandrell, Carrie Underwood, Joe DiMessina. The Grand Ole Opry is 80 years old. Don't go away. Welcome back to Larry King Live. We're celebrating the 80th birthday of the Grand Ole Opry on the eve of the Country Music Awards, which this year comes from New York City. And added to our panel is a great star in country music. Martina McBride has sold more than 10 million albums. Her new CD, Timeless, is currently #1 on Billboard's country chart and top 10 on the Hot 100 Albums chart. And she's been a member of the Grand Ole Opry since '95. Before we get into some individual stories, what did it mean to you to be made a member?
It's amazing. I mean, it's, you know, the Grand Ole Opry is such a big part of our heritage and country music, and it's an honor. You know, I'll never forget the day I was asked to be a member, and you know, I don't take it for granted, because not everybody gets to be a member. It's just a really a wonderful thing. I'm proud of it.
Sing there a lot?
Yeah, I do actually.
Different when you sing there?
It is. It is. Little butterflies, and, you know, especially when we do it at the Ryman Auditorium, where, you know, it's such a...
Yeah, sometimes you go back to the old place, right?
That's right. And, you know, you're standing there, and there's where Hank Williams sang, and Patsy Cline, and all the greats.
All right, let's go around. So much of country music is personal. We'll go around starting with Joe D this time. Does the trials and tribulations of your own life come into your music?
For me, more recently, I guess, because I've done more songwriting for my music, but I mean for my records than in the past. But I think that's the beauty of country music, is the relatability and the fact that, you know, you feel right at home when you're listening to it. And so I think in all of our music, you know, that's how we, you know, grow that fan base, is the relatability and the realness of the subject matter.
Why are so many of the success stories based on unhappy instances in people's past?
Well, you tell me. Society's
I'm
got
asking.
plenty of things these days to look at, and you know, I think a lot of times when you're hurting or you're going through something, you feel alone, and the music itself is some sort of reassurance or lets you know that you're not alone in that. You know, whether you're going through a divorce or losing a loved one, or just struggling with your day-to-day, trying to get all the kids off to school or whatever. I think that everybody has that, and I think when you're in that spot, you feel very much alone, and the music lets you know that you're not.
Now, you're a little young for pain, right, Carrie? Like, what's the worst thing that ever happened in your life?
Oh,
the diaper
goodness.
was late.
Nice. No, I mean, I'm finding my way through everything, and you know, right now, you know, a lot of my songs are happier songs. So maybe someday, hopefully, they'll continue to be happy
You haven't
songs.
felt any real pain yet. So
I mean, I'm 22. You know.
I have Ty's older than you.
Nice.
What about you, Trish? Life's been pretty good for you?
Yeah, you know, but I mean, even when I was 14 years old and wanting to be an artist, I was singing Linda Ronstadt songs about love and loss and betrayal, having had no life experience. I think just the emotion in music, you know, it was there, and I like all kinds of songs. The songs that are, you know, kind of roll on the floor and wallow in self-pity, those songs make me happy. You know, I like
So
a really
there's some,
good gut-wrenching song.
There's
you
some
know.
sickness involved in it.
I guess
Kind of
there
a
is.
weirdness,
I guess
right?
there may be so. But I
Whereas
mean,
the sadder the song, the more you like it.
when you're happy, you want to hear a song that makes you feel happy. And when you're having a bad day or you're sad, you want to hear someone who commiserates with you. And you can find that. You know, there's a little bit of everything.
Yeah, Barbara, Anthony Quinn once told me about Frank Sinatra that when he sang a song of pain, he felt your pain. That he understood what you were going through his music. You feel that in country music?
Sounds like really good PR to me. I don't know.
Well, he was able to move you when you listened to him.
His voice, I think, you know, to each his own, but I think that all my friends that are there, I think they'll all agree with me, maybe. But for me, it was when I was singing, whatever I was singing, I was living it for those 3 minutes or whatever the length of the song. For real, I mean, it's like you're acting, you're living the pain or the joy or the romance. And so, but I don't know about feeling someone else's pain.
But you don't bring your own pain to it?
Sure you do. You do that, yeah, in
the 3
acting or
minutes.
singing. Sure you do. I mean, don't you have to sometimes call up old memories of, you know, sure. And the lyrics are different to you when you're performing it.
Yeah.
Especially in the recording studio, because right then it's all about what does it sound like, not what does it look like or anything. You have to really, really make it special and make people totally believe you.
What was it like for you, Martina? Life hasn't always been roses, right?
Well, not every day. You know, we have good days and bad days. Everybody does. But I think what Barbara was saying is true. It's about relating to the lyric. And even if it's something you've never been through, there's something in there that you can empathize with. Or, you know, even if it's a story that you're telling. You know, for instance, a song Independence Day, I've never lived through that story, but I can have compassion for the woman in that story. And So it's just something you tap into that, and you just sing with your heart.
What makes country different?
I think the realness of it, and the industry itself is such a small. I know when I grew up in Massachusetts, so it seems odd that I sing country music. But I remember when I was a kid, just the whole industry is just based in a small area, and it's almost like a family-oriented industry, which is what drew me to it. You know, years ago when I went down to Nashville, and I think it's just real. You know, and there's something you can grab onto, and it isn't all sad, and it isn't all about pickup trucks. And I think sometimes we get a bum rap for the, you know, it's got to contain, you know, jail history and pickup trucks and beer cans or whatever. But I think the fact that for me, I can reach out and grab it. There's a realness to country music.
We'll be right back with our panel on this 80th anniversary of the Grand Ole Opry. Don't go away.
You can crawl back home, say you were wrong. Stand out in the yard and cry all night long. Go ahead and water the lawn. I give a damn busted. I really wanna care. I wanna feel something. Let me dig a little deeper.
No, sorry, nothing.
Sleeping single in a double bed. I thinking over things I wish I'd said. I should have held you, but I let you go. Now I'm the one sleeping all alone. I'm sleeping single in a double bed. And tossing, turning, trying to forget. I could be lying with you instead. I'm sleeping single in a double bed. Ooh.
Boy, don't we miss her.
I wanted that hair. I wanted that hair. I tried everything to get it, too.
Yeah, Barbara fell once and broke her hair. Little joke, Barbara. Barbara, not getting too serious, but you battled depression, didn't you?
Did you say Barbara, Larry?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Sure, I really did. But I had a real serious head injury after being in a car crash, after
Yeah,
getting
I remember.
head on. So yeah, depression is a terrible, terrible thing.
Did you sing while you had it?
No, I didn't. That's a whole nother story. I never thought I would ever sing again or be Barbara Mandrell again or any of that. But praise God, my father changed my mind and told me to do at least one more show. And then if I liked it, keep going. If I didn't, then quit, because he didn't want the car crash to dictate that. So I think my father, being my manager my whole career, he's shared with me the unspeakable, really, joy and pride that we as Opry members have. And I've enjoyed hearing some of you, my friends, describing. It's a very huge honor. It's so special. It's the longest running radio show in existence ever. There's something to be said for the great success that it's had. And so...
Were you a better performer, Barbara, after you battled through it?
Oh, I would like to think. I wanted to be better every time out, every show. So yeah, I hope I got better. I didn't want to ever just spin my wheels. I was always looking for higher ground, you know, and to deliver better goods to the public, you know, to the audience.
Joe D., you had an alcohol problem?
You know, looking back, it was just a really kind of a rough point in my life where I needed to stop and say, okay, I gotta look at me for a while. Kind of a struggle. I don't want to pin it to one thing or another. But yeah, I mean, I think we all go through that. And I was lucky enough to be able to stop and step off the merry-go-round for a while and learn some things about myself and about, you know, just appreciating the simple things.
How were you able to stop?
I was able to, I just took time off. I took time off and went away for a while and started to look at me, look at myself and realize what's important. I used to work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I did everything from learning how to pack my truck to know what kind of gear we were renting to, you know, how many lighting trusses and lighting points we needed to hang the trusses. And I just was really involved.
You were hands-on.
Too much, you know, too much. I almost went crazy. I just almost went crazy at that point, you know, trying to run a business. And then I was at an end of a 9-year relationship at that point, and I felt, you know, just overwhelmed with everything, and was able to kind of step out and step off. And how lucky was I, you know, to have a job that allowed me to take, you know, 6 weeks or so to.
Were you better when you came back?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I had my record come out first time in, 5 years that I had had something with all new material on it, and just to release a record, it wasn't about the awards, the chart position, nothing. It was just about, oh my God, I get to sing. I got a new record out there. I'm excited, and so I think I was so grateful for that. That when the first single came off of this record, I never looked at the chart. I don't look at the chart. I couldn't tell you where my album is, my single is. I just got a new appreciation for what I do and for people and just getting out and seeing today.
What has the relationship with Garth Brooks done to or for your career?
I don't know how to say what it's done for my career, except for, I get a lot of "Where's Garth?" at my shows, and my current answer is that he would have been here, but the laundry was piling up. That's my current answer.
You were singing before you met Garth, right?
Yes, I was. We met as demo singers. Actually, we were both singing demos for publishers and songwriters for $10 a tune, something like that. So
No
I've
kidding.
known him for almost 20 years now, and
Was it love right away or not?
it was a connection right away. I would say that there was something special about our voices together immediately and a friendship immediate, and what's wonderful now is that most relationships, and I've been very guilty of this myself, you get way, way far along the line before you realize you never really got to be friends. And in this relationship, we've had a really great friendship for a long, long time, and so now it's just wonderful.
How did it develop?
It's hard to.
One day you look up and said, I love him.
No, it wasn't like that. It was really more of. It really was more of a realization that this man is continually in my life for a reason, and the reason changed, and it was inevitable. It just seemed to be inevitable. The way that he has affected me most is that there's a confidence factor that I have that I don't think I had before, and I have to credit him for some of that because he's always been my biggest fan, and he's a really big believer in me and has encouraged me to believe in myself more.
Well, with all this time, why don't you have a date? I don't mean to be prying. I mean, my God,
Well,
we're eligible for Medicare.
We've done. We've done everything right. That's nice, Larry. No, we've done everything right. Garth has 3 girls, and I earned my way into this family. It wasn't like all of a sudden, oh, here I am. I'm part of the family. I learned how I got to know the girls, and we didn't get engaged until they were ready, and until they
married other people in between, right?
Yeah, we were married.
Yeah.
We were married when we were friends.
And you got engaged on stage?
We did.
How
Yes.
did you expect it?
No. I mean, you know Garth. He's a pretty private guy, and I would never have expected it to happen in a public setting. But
How did he do it?
well, he was being honored with a bronze statue, and he had told the artist that he wanted his wedding ring to be on this bronze if it was going to stand forever, which was very romantic. We thought it was going to be a private ceremony, but it ended up, by the time between the 7 months that the statue was commissioned and it happened, that it was in front of 7,000 people. But when the cover came off the statue, he knew he would have some explaining to do with the ring on the hand, so he said that was the moment, and there he went. It was pretty surreal.
Johnny Cash did that.
He did?
Got married, proposed on stage.
He did. Well, that worked out.
It's real nice. What about your love life, Martina? Where are we at with you? Why am I into this?
Because you're a romantic guy.
Yeah, I am. I'm a romantic.
Well, I've been married for 17 years. 16 and a half,
You
17
checking with-
years? I'm checking with somebody. A long time. I got married in 1988, and in May of 1988, and just married my best friend. And we're still best friends. He's my very favorite person in the whole wide world.
Children?
We have 3 children, 3 daughters.
But you still call him best friend.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. I'll pick up on that. And, oh, by the way, I hate to make it, but Carrie, do you have anyone in your life?
No.
Oh, but you grabbed your ear. That's a telltale sign. We'll be right back with, I'll reintroduce the whole panel. Don't go away.
When you lost Ooh.